Before you can start building out your Shopify store, you're gonna have to go through and set up your apps. You could kind of do this in between. I wanted to have one separate video where I'm going through and actually building out the store and showing you a couple of key points behind that. So we're gonna do the apps beforehand so we don't kind of end up mixing those things and having them be confused. This is nothing crazy. Now, I'm sure there's tens of thousands. I don't really know exactly how many Shopify apps there are. You only need a few selective ones. There's a couple of additions we're gonna go through on ones that you could use depending on location and a couple of other factors that you might be needing. There's a couple that I think are absolutely essential, and there's definitely one where you kind of have to have it. That's Oberlo. For those of you who don't know, Oberlo, it's actually free. I think it's one of the only free apps, or it's kind of the main one. That's the app that allows you to connect the products from AliExpress and basically link it in your Shopify store. That's the bridge, and then when you're going through and fulfilling your orders, you can do that through Oberlo and hit fulfill. It's kind of like the middle ground tracker, think about it like that. And it's actually free, which is super cool. Hurrify, this is gonna be huge for the product page. So when people land on your website, they're not necessarily just going to your website, right? They're landing on a specific product page. And so you wanna make sure that page has everything you need to immediately convert that customer. So Hurrify is basically a visual aid for both scarcity and urgency. And as you guys already know, those are the two main biases. And Hurrify, think about it as this. It's a countdown timer for either time, or you can do it for quantity. Like there's only 12 products left. It can count up, it can count down. You can use both a quantity timer, a time timer, anything like that. That's what Hurrify allows you to do. It's basically a badge. It's like a live moving GIF or icon that counts down, and it goes right under the add to cart button. It's absolutely huge. You would not believe how much this helps increase conversions, because when you're saying something versus people seeing something, it's completely different. Like obviously they're reading you say there's only 12 left, but when there's an active moving countdown timer that goes from 12 to 11 while they're watching it, that really sparks, you know, the scarcity in their head. And so it makes that visual aid really helps increase those conversions. So that's an app we'll be using. Better shipping. In my opinion, this is absolutely necessary. 100%, I will never build a store without it, but it's up to you. I believe it's $15 a month if I recall correctly. I just added it into all my stores. So if you're trying to really skate by on a budget, you don't need it. You can go and set up your shipping based on weight instead of having it like this. Better Shipping is basically an app that allows you to show the big list of your products. It lists all of that out, and then you can just type in the individual shipping price for each product. So it makes that a lot faster when you're doing different offers, free plus shipping, and testing a lot of stuff. Better Shipping makes it so much easier, just removes the hassle out of that. Now, consistent cart. This is basically an abandoned cart sequence, okay? So it really helps bring customers back once they've abandoned their cart. You know, maybe they were on the move, they were on the go, they couldn't quite do it, or maybe, you know, they weren't just interested right then and there. But if they see it again, if they present it with another opportunity at a better time, they might come back. So you can really push a lot of people over the edge of that fence that they were kind of perched on top of and get them to buy. So consistent cart's huge. It's just like an abandoned cart sequence, and it also allows you to send notifications as well as emails. So we're gonna go through and kind of set these up. I'm gonna show you. You're just gonna go inside of the Shopify store. This is a test account that we created. You're gonna go to the App Store, very similar to the iPhone App Store. Oberlo is actually already installed. So that's a main free app that you're gonna have. It's gonna pop up immediately. It's one of the first main apps. I think it's actually the most widely used Shopify app. So that's already set up. We're gonna be covering that as we go through and set up the products and basically link them from AliExpress into your Shopify store. But as for any of these other ones, Hurrify. It's a Hurrify countdown timer, looks something like this. It's only $7 a month. It does have a trial. Most apps have a trial. This one's 2 days, which is kind of short, but $7 a month. Think about it, that's like one sale. That's one sales profit margin. So you can definitely, if you're driving traffic to your store, this alone will help it convert to the point where it more than pays for itself. Absolutely way more. So they kind of show you an example here if you actually want to check it out. Oh, we'll turn that down. But you see how it shows you the countdown timer. I think they show it on a product page as well. See, it pops up under it, okay? And we're gonna show you, I'm gonna show you exactly how to set it up. For Hurrify, for example, if you guys are going through and setting up on a time-based thing where it says 12 hours left, don't start it at exactly 12 hours. You know, people don't, it's not real. People can tell that's kind of fake. So start it at a random time, like 3 hours, 27 minutes, and 19 seconds, and where it starts counting down from there, okay? And when it's products left, do like 13 quantity left. So Hurify, that's definitely an app that you want to get. I always do that on every single store just because it helps so much when it actually comes to increasing your conversions and really just getting people. It looks really good. It does look good. It's not one of those scammy spam apps. Oh, I'm gonna have to blur that out, but I guess I have to go through and enter this card information. Anyways, we don't have to link it right now, but you link it and then you're just gonna be able to go inside of there and set that up. You're gonna be able to click it for each individual product. I'll show you guys that a little bit further once we're setting up the individual products. Now, other apps, like I just mentioned, we'll go back to the App Store here. Better Shipping, that one, definitely key. It just makes shipping a lot easier. People have a ton of headache when it comes to that. I feel like there's not really a reason for that because Better Shipping eliminates it. Has a little bit of a longer trial, 7 days here, and it's $15. In my opinion, completely worth it. 50 cents a day to remove that headache. Just gives you, like I said, a long list, or not necessarily a long list. It gives you a list of all of the products on your Shopify store, and then it's gonna have you basically have the option to go through and set up the shipping price. You can leave it $0, make it $10, $100, whatever. And when people are doing free plus shipping, this is where it comes into hand and a lot of people mess up. You can have it basically say if they order 2 or more, it charges them in addition. So if you're doing a free plus shipping product for $10 and someone orders 7 of them, you know, it's not gonna let them just kind of slip through and only spend $10. It's gonna make them pay $10 per product that they're ordering. So that's where Better Shipping really comes into play. Absolutely huge. I would 100% recommend that. Now, Consistent Cart, this is one of the ones for abandoned cart. If you guys wanna see here, Consistent Cart. Oh, where'd it go? Messenger marketing. It is a little bit more than just email marketing. It allows you to do notifications that will, like, you know, pop up on someone's computer. So a little bit more personal, a little bit more active in that sense of things. It is based on kind of how much you use it versus like a flat fee. It can get up to a little bit expensive, but starts like 15 bucks. This is something you don't have to use, but this is definitely something I would recommend installing once you start getting customers, because if you're getting a lot of customers and a lot of purchases, naturally you're gonna have people dropping off, and if you can bring them back, that app obviously will more than pay for itself immediately and start putting those extra customers and profit in your pocket. And then you're also going to have more pixel data. So it's like a win-win-win, and this app definitely helps you with that. There's a few others you could kind of look at. You could do an AliExpress review. Something to be careful of, make sure you're only doing that if the product actually has reviews. I see this all the time on people's stores. It says, you know, or the product reviews, and then it says no reviews. That looks worse than just having no review section at all. So I personally don't use the Ali review on very many of my stores, but if you want to go through and set that up, go for it. Just make sure that the product actually has reviews. Some of you guys who are not inside of the US might want to look at a currency converter. I'm sure if we just search currency converter, I don't have to use it because I'm inside of the US. Look at this, best currency, multi-currency, currency converter. There's plenty of them. Just go through, kind of look at them. That's going to allow you to change it from whatever, you know, pounds or whatever currency you're in into US, and it's going to kind of automatically transfer it into whatever currency that person has. You know, if they're in a different country, it's going to automatically flip it into that once they land on your store. So that's definitely really helpful when it comes to that. These are just a couple of apps you're gonna wanna go through, do a little bit of research on, but I'm very confident that at least these main 4 right here are some of the ones you guys are gonna wanna use. So definitely go through, take a look at those, set those up inside your store. Not crazy expensive, but definitely necessary. You don't need any of the thousands. You know, certain people can use different ones for different stores, different reasons, but those are definitely a couple of the main ones you're gonna wanna look at. So let's continue on with these videos, and we're gonna start building your store.